Today we're going to draw a cosmoflower. Start off with a ring shape made up of tiny little circles. Once the ring is drawn, fill it in entirely with tiny circles. Then add a halo of circles around this initial shape. Space them out a bit more than with the first ring that we drew. Make sure they're not all touching. Connect the circles back to the center with a light line. Now we can come in and start adding our petals to the flower. They're going to be an elongated ray petal with some subtle ridges along the outer edge. As you get closer to the front or bottom of the flower, let's make the petals wider and shorter so they look like they're curved up toward the center slightly. You can add some slightly wavy lines running along the outer edges to show a curve, or just leave them as is. Let's add a little bud here as well for a bit of interest. Start with a circle, and then we can come in and add some narrow, pointed leaves extending out and away from the bud with a pointed tip. I added a tiny dot toward the top side of the circle, and now I'm going to draw some lines from the edges in toward this dot to create the look of the guard petal that will eventually unfold. Now I'm adding a stem, nothing fancy, just two parallel lines connecting from the base of the bud in behind the flower and the base of the bloom down the page a bit and joining into one stem. Cosmos have these really wispy, grass-like leaves, which I'm just simplifying into a group of lines extending out a bit from the stem in different directions. And now I'm going to add in some detail lines concentrated toward the center or stamen of the flower and extending outward toward the outer edges. While you're drawing, lift your pen up a bit here and there to get broken lines, keeping your touch light. Finally, add in some really subtle curved lines to the bud and the leaves surrounding the bud, again keeping them to where you'd imagine a shadow would fall. And there you have it. Another 5-minute flower. Hope you'll give it a try.